Men being assholes, that's great contraception.
Come in for an STD test and bring your boyfriend.
Like, I want big titties.
Crawling out of the fucking sexual health clinic.
They were like, you could have a stroke.
I started having pain when I was having sex.
Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Clitical Thinking podcast. We're your hosts,
Georgie
and Amy, and today we are asking the question, why is it every time a woman goes to the doctor with a problem, they're told to go on the pill?
Like it's some magical cure.
Like it's a magical potion. Like you take it and then problem's fixed.
Problem solved. No. Well, we're raising this question because it's time to stop teaching women and girls to go on the pill and start teaching doctors to adequately investigate their problem.
Mm-hmm. But before we get into this episode, we do just want to talk for a little bit about Anya Rose Hurst, who was a 19-year-old woman who tragically died on the 13th of March 2025 from a blood clot in the brain, which was directly associated to the combined pill Femidet.
Her brother Charlie is now raising awareness for the dangerous side effects for like birth control medication. And the saddest thing about this case as well is that the GP did prescribe her this pill again after she'd been advised not to take it.
Mm-hmm. She was found to have really high blood pressure, and then after being advised not to take it, like we said, was then prescribed it again. And it's so tragic, but the videos of her, she's always seen laughing and singing and dancing, and she just seemed like a really beautiful soul. And her family have also said that if they could save even just one life in her memory, then that would be a small comfort to them. So that is why we wanted to mention her here.
And I think that overall just perpetuates the idea of like contraception and all these things, like the doctors being like, just go on the pill, just go on the pill. No, there's some really serious side effects and you should be looking into everything you're taking. Obviously one of the side effects literally being blood clots and possible death.
Yeah, so if you are on the combined pill, just some signs to look out for. If you have a persistent headache, impaired vision, if you get migraines, if you're fainting or experiencing loss of consciousness, motory or sensory function loss, or other stroke-like symptoms, definitely go and see a doctor. And I would honestly advise coming off of the pill.
So in this episode, we're going to give you the rundown of all of the contraceptions as well as our personal experiences. Hopefully give you guys a little bit more of insight of kind of what you can expect when you're kind of looking into these contraceptions, because I feel like it's so easy just to go, oh, go on the pill or go on the implant. But actually everyone's experiences are different. And just on that note, I do want to say, if you are thinking about going on contraception, just make sure that it is your choice and you're not being pressured by your mum or your doctors or even a partner.
I would definitely say make sure you're not being pressured by a partner, because I think it's very easy to think, oh, fine, like I'll just go on it. Like it's easier to just go on contraception than to argue. But really, like, do think about what you're putting in your body and how it might affect your body at the end of the day, because you are the one taking the medication. You are the one who's going to be experiencing possible side effects. So of course, like one of our core values on the podcast is that it's your body, it's your choice. Advocate for yourself.
So firstly, we're going to run through some of your contraception options. Firstly is condoms, which is our personal favourite. Because
barrier method.
Yeah, barrier method. Not only does it stop the egg from getting to the sperm from getting to the egg, sorry. The sperm from
you
getting
get the
egg,
point.
It also prevents STDs. So even if it's like same-sex sex, it's always kind of good to have a condom spare. There's also the Femidom, which we don't really know much about the Femidom.
I've never seen a Femidom. No. I mean, I've seen a Femidom in sex education, but I've
never on the shelves.
I don't know if I just haven't been looking for it, but I've never seen it on the shelf in the shop.
Yeah, it's not in your local Tesco.
I've never seen a Femidom. No. And we could be wrong. They could be everywhere.
Yeah, they could be everywhere.
I personally never come across a Femidom, and I don't think I know anyone who's ever used a Femidom.
And I also don't know how to put a Femidom on myself. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can't remember that much about it.
No, but
still, barrier method.
If you fancy one, I'm sure you can find one somewhere. Don't know where, but I'm sure they're out there somewhere. I'm sure they're still kicking around. Onto hormonal contraception methods, we have the combined pill, which, can we just appreciate, research recently has come out stating that it is considered a type 1 carcinogen, which is up there with smoking. So that's kind of crazy that we're just being handed it. Like, that's like going to the doctor and handing you a cigarette.
Literally, you're being prescribed something that could cause cancer.
it's terrifying. I'm sure there's more research going into that, but just thought that was a fun little fact to throw out there. But yeah, so you've got the combined pill, you've got the ring, you've got the patch, which are estrogen and progesterone together, and these work by stopping ovulation, but also by thickening cervical mucus. I know the combined pill also can thin the wall of the womb, the lining, to stop like an egg getting implanted. So then with the mini pill and the implant, these are progesterone only methods. So they work by thickening cervical mucus. I've been on both of these because I get migraines, which we'll get into all later. But if you do get migraines, especially migraines of aura, you should not be on any contraception with estrogen in it.
So another method of contraception is the copper coil, which is, I've had my personal experience with that. It's basically an IUD, kind of looks similar to the Mirena coil that you see, but it's actually like it kills the sperm as it enters. So there's no hormones going in. You might have a reaction with like foreign object or things like that, but it is an object that goes up inside you and it kills the sperm, so it can't actually get to the egg.
Because it kind of like changes the environment of the womb. But I've heard, and like we'll get into this later, but I have heard that it can actually make your periods a bit more painful.
Yes.
And it can cause quite heavy bleeding, which is something to bear in mind with regards to that. So I'm actually currently on the hormonal pill, the Mirena...
Mirena, I think.
The Mirena coil, sorry, I think it's a pill. I'm on the Mirena coil. Again, we'll get into all of this later, but the Mirena coil works by thickening the cervical mucus, and also we're always told, right, about the copper coil and the Mirena coil, the hormonal coil. We are never told about the JDAS coil or other coils that you can get which are smaller. So I was told about this in a doctor's appointment when I was being diagnosed with endometriosis. I went in and they said, right, so one of the ways that we treat it is with an IUD, a hormonal IUD. And I said, I'm really scared. Like, I'm really scared to get that put in. And the doctor said to me, he was like, well, there is one called JDAS, which is smaller, and it's actually made for women who haven't had babies, so women who haven't given birth vaginally, because it's smaller, so it's easier to go in, it's less painful, which is crazy because the hormonal coil, the Mirena and the copper coil are actually designed for women who've given birth. And that is why it's so painful
to get it put
for younger girls or older girls who haven't had children to have it inserted. Which is crazy because no one ever talks about JDAS. No one talks about it. I hadn't even heard of it before I went to this doctor's appointment.
Actually, why is no one talking about JDAS?
Yes. Why is no one talking about JDAS?
So now we're going to talk about our own personal experiences being on certain contraceptions. And before we kind of get into this, we just want to preface by saying that everyone's experience on contraception is going to be different because it's all tailored to you, your hormone cycle,
your body.
So just because we've had these experiences doesn't mean that you will, and vice versa. So Amy, what contraceptions have you been on?
So I actually started the combined pill when I was like 16, I think 15 or 16, and I low-key went on it because I thought it was gonna make my boobs grow. I was like, I want big titties, like get me the combined pill. Like I wasn't having sex, I just like thought I want to go on the pill.
So what did you say to get on the pill?
I didn't, it wasn't just that. There was a big hope in me that my boobs would grow, but I actually did go on it because I was having really painful periods. We now know why, but I was having really painful periods and I thought this isn't good. So I went to the doctors, spoke to them about the pill, and in the back of my head I was thinking, tits, like I'm gonna have boobs. Plot twist, they didn't grow. Not while I was on the combined pill. No, in fact, I think they were probably smaller than they'd ever been before. But yeah, so I went on the combined pill, and it actually like worked like quite well for me. I was basically taking it, so I took it for 3 months, and then at the end of the 3rd month, I would like just come off of it for a period of time to have a period. And I know that that's how a lot of girls take it. I know some people come off it monthly, and I think it might depend on what pill you're on. I can't actually remember the name of the pill I was on. But it was just one of them. And also, something I also just wanted to mention here, Yasmin, the pill. My friend was on Yasmin, and she told me that apparently it had been giving her ridiculously high levels of vitamin D.
What?
To the point where she was getting so sick, and she was poorly for a while and didn't know why, and it was all because of her pill.
Oh my god.
And apparently this has happened with other pills as well, that, like other combined pills.
We're literally getting prescribed this.
It brings on your vitamin D. Like, and it can raise your levels of vitamin D in your body so high that you're actually getting sick. So bear that in mind. And I think there have been quite a few problems with Yasmin reported. But like I said, your body might react completely differently to another person's body. These are just personal experiences. Anyway, so when I was on the combined pill, I then had another appointment with a doctor about contraception, and I told them that I had migraines, and they turned to me and basically was like, you need to come off the combined pill right now. And I was thinking, oh my God, like, why? They were really dramatic about it. They were like, you could have a stroke or a blood clot. And I thought, oh my gosh, because when you get migraines, and especially if you get migraines with aura, you cannot take the combined pill because it does put you at risk of a stroke. And I was thinking, girl, I don't need a stroke. I'm, however old I was at the time, I'd been on it for like 2 years or a year at this point when they told me. So girl got lucky.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was a bit of a shock when they turned to me and they were like, you need to come off of this right now. So then I went on the mini pill, and honestly, terrible. Oh, it was so horrible. Like, I was just constantly on my period. Like, I think I had a period for 3 months, and then I thought, I'm actually not taking this anymore. Like, I'm not dealing with it anymore. So I came off of the mini pill, and then I didn't really think about contraception for a few months until I went on the implant, which essentially for me just did the exact same thing as the mini pill. And I guess it's because they're both progesterone only methods, so for me I kind of just reacted the same way. But the implant for me, yeah, I was on a period for how long, like 8-9 months. Do you remember it? My constant period. It was so intense, and I was in a relationship as well for like that whole time I was on that implant. I was in a relationship on my period, and it was a nightmare. But after, I'd say, like a year and a half, my periods kind of started to settle a bit, but I was still having really, really irregular cycles. Like, I would have a period for a week, come off it for 2 days, have another period for a week. Like, there were times,
you need to be really careful because it can really mess with your cycle.
It was so
kind of
strange.
Hormonal things as well.
So that was weird, and I actually still have it in my arm
Because they can't take it out, right?
they can't. Well, no, they can,
But it's
but
just buried.
mine has basically, so they can take it out, but mine is so deep under my muscle now, like I can't even feel it. Like, it's lost in me. She's lost in me. I went to the doctors and they were like, I actually have no idea where it's gone. Like, it's migrated. It could be anywhere in me. I don't know where it is. I just have this weird plastic rod floating around my body right now. But like, yeah, so they were like, oh, we can try and get it out, but we'll have to like cut into your muscle. And like, I just thought, do you know what? I actually just can't be bothered. And they said that it was fine to leave it in. I mean, a bit strange that, like I said, I have this weird plastic rod just floating around me now for life. But yeah, apparently it's fine. The hormones have run out, so hopefully that's not going to affect me. But yeah, so after my implant ran out, kind of was relieved for a while actually, because no period trouble.
Back, yeah.
But then obviously I was having really painful periods and all of the endometriosis symptoms, which I've spoken about before. And because I got diagnosed with endometriosis, they said to me, oh, you should go on the Mirena coil, because apparently it can help with the pain, it can lighten your periods, it can help with the cramping, but also I was told that it can hopefully suppress the disease. So I haven't been on it for too long, and I do still experience pains with my endometriosis. And it's weird because when I first got it inserted, it was really painful after, but I had it put in during my surgery, so I actually couldn't tell you what the process of getting it inserted is like.
I'll tell them mine.
Oh, you'll tell. That's fine then, because I know my sister said, like, Amy, it was horrible.
It's really horrible.
Is it? So I was asleep.
Quite lucky getting it done with your surgery.
So honestly, I don't even know what it felt like. So yeah, I'm very grateful for the fact that I was quite literally under when I had that put in. But yeah, so I'm on that now, and I mean, it's going fine, but yeah, so I had pains after the surgery, but I couldn't tell if that was surgery pain or IUD pain or a bit of both.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll keep you guys updated with how it works.
And what's your favourite, do you reckon?
Oh, my favourite? Do you know what? So far, I would probably say that IUD,
Yeah.
the Mirena coil. Although I have noticed since having it in, I haven't had a period, but I've had like weird bleeding, like
Spotting?
but not spotting, because it's more like, and sorry for TMI, although that is kind of what we do here. It's kind of like a clot, but it's not all blood.
Okay.
Like it's like a I don't know, it's like kind of like discharge, but bloody discharge, if that makes sense. Or like random
mucus,
like
or
mucousy blood.
Yeah. That's weird.
This is when someone comes back and says that shouldn't happen, or like, oh my god, please tell me that's normal. But yeah, so that's kind of what I've had recently, and I don't know, but I'll let you know if I get a period at some point. Another thing I just wanted to mention with the Mirena coil, unlike other hormonal contraceptions, the hormones are localized, so it's only really affecting like your reproductive system opposed to your whole body, whereas with other ones like the pill and the implant, your whole body is kind of affected by the hormones. So I feel like that might make it mean that your symptoms, you may have more side effects to do with like acne, weight gain,
mood swings.
Like basically, like it's quite funny because I can't list them all because the symptoms for like contraceptions are so fucking long.
It's an A3 sheet of paper folded up.
Yeah, you pull it out of like the packet of the pill or whatever you're given, and you're unfolding it. You're thinking, is it stopping unfolding? Like, when is this going to end? You pull out this poster of things that are basically going to possibly go wrong with your body, which is kind of terrifying. But I also feel like it's so easy just to throw that away and not even think about it.
Yeah, exactly.
But the fact that it's so big, like, why? Like, sorry?
And we're getting prescribed something with so many side effects.
And also, all of the symptoms as well, they then contradict each other. So there'll be one saying, like, you may have trouble sleeping, but you also may sleep too much. You may be really drowsy.
They just write anything on there to cover their own backs.
Or, like, you may have weight loss, or you may have weight gain.
Yeah.
Like, so basically you don't know what's going to happen. It could be anything. So what about you? Like, what contraceptions have you been on?
What haven't I been on?
She's had the whole list.
Yeah, the whole thing. So I went on the combined pill when I was 14 for about a year, and then it kind of was giving me migraines. That was a combined pill. And then I didn't have too many side effects with that first one. I can't remember what it was called, something beginning with E. Then I've tried about 7 pills in my lifetime.
7?
Yeah, 7 different pills. So I've done like progesterone only, I've done combined, I've tried like the same combined but different ones. I was on Yasmin for a bit. Yeah, and honestly every single one had a bad side effect, bad enough for me to stop it basically.
Yeah,
like I was having mood swings with one, I was having really terrible acne with another, and then so I was kind of on and off the pill. I kind of went on it originally because it was my choice, and then after that I was like, oh, like whatever, don't really like this, got off it because of some side effect. And then I got into a relationship when I was 16, and he was like, oh, just go on the pill, it's easier, like it's just easier. So
easy for him to say.
Yeah,
he's not the one taking it.
So then I went back on the pill because he told me to, and then that's when I was trying all the different ones because I was in this relationship, and he was like, it's cheaper than condoms.
Again, for you,
exactly.
Like it's cheap. Like you pay. Is he paying half your prescription?
No.
Speaking of, actually, why does your partner not pay half of your prescription?
Especially when it's like contraception.
Yeah.
So then that happened, and then I kind of came off it, and then I got into another relationship like a few years later, and he was like, oh, go on the pill because we're using skin condoms, which is still my favorite method of contraception. Latex free. pH balancing. Jokes. Nothing is
rashes
pH
around
balancing.
here.
Nothing is pH balancing, guys.
No burning.
That's the joke. Like,
oh yeah, that's true.
Anyway, so
the way I just didn't pick up on that, I'm just like, yeah, it's pH balancing.
Like nothing is pH balancing.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, like condoms burn me sometimes.
Yeah, latex free all the way.
Yeah, skin only around here. Durex, no. Fire in the vag.
Yeah, fire in the
vag.
Anyway, so then I went on the pill again because he was like, oh, just go on the pill, like we don't have to keep buying these condoms, even though I had set up a little condom subscription.
Sorry, no, we have to talk about that. You can get a
condom subscription, yeah, and you can buy them in bulk as well. It was like really cheap, so I just bought a bulk. I still have some left over. You can do that? They're definitely out of date, obviously.
Oh my god.
But yeah, that was back in the day. And then I went on the progesterone only pill. It made me gain 15 kilos in 3 months.
3 months.
3 months, 15 kilos. So I was like not myself, I was really insecure. And the boy who told me to go on the pill, he said to me, he was like, I'm not sexually attracted to you now that you've gained weight.
Really? Like, it isn't the consequences of your suggestion.
I know, he literally told me to go on the pill, and then the pill made me gain weight, and then he was like, I don't like you anymore.
That's really great.
Yeah, that was kind of
great.
crazy. And then around this time I was like 20, 21, and that's when all my PCOS symptoms started ramping up. So it was quite difficult for me to like lose that weight, but obviously I did it eventually.
Can you go... Does the pill help with PCOS?
Yeah, so apparently the pill is meant to help with some of the symptoms of PCOS. So I have tried a pill since then, and it did kind of help the symptoms, but like not enough to make it worth it for the side effects I was getting, which were like tender breasts and like acne. It gave me really bad acne. So although like it helped with the hair growth symptoms slightly, it wasn't enough to, you know, make me kind of like go on the, like stay on the pill.
To stay on
basically.
it, yeah.
So then I went and I tried the copper coil. Oh,
I want to know about the insertion because, like I said, I didn't feel my insertion.
Right. So the insertion. So I go to this appointment, you know, I book it in, like, and the reason I went with the copper coil is because it's non-hormonal. So I'd obviously tried all these pills growing up and like, you know, not fairly recently, but like
it didn't
recent
work.
at the time with the copper coil, you know what I mean? So I was like, oh, I don't like hormonal contraception, just doesn't get along with me, and that's fine. Like, I'll try this copper method. Like, let's try the copper coil. So I go in, she gets the speculum, and I take paracetamol and Brufen like right before the appointment. Go in, I like the plastic, like put lube on it, plastic thing, open me up.
Like the speculum?
Yeah, I have my legs are in stirrups.
Oh my gosh.
And it's very like interesting. So first of all, they did an internal...
Like an ultrasound?
Yeah, an internal ultrasound. Yeah, because that's because I was telling them about my PCOS symptoms.
Okay,
so they wanted to have a look at my ovaries just to see what was going on, see if there's any of those like microcysts on there.
Worst thing ever, by the way, sorry to cut in, the transvaginal ultrasound was not a fan of that.
No.
Was not a fan.
Transvaginal ultrasound is very intrusive, but it's fine.
It's like a lot of prodding.
Yeah, it did help.
In places you don't want to be prodded.
It did help with my PCOS diagnosis though, so that
obviously,
I'm
like,
very grateful for
worth
that.
it.
Yeah.
And
so
get them done.
They probe me, have a look around. I'm looking at my ovaries. I'm like, oh, it's so cute. You know, you guys have heard the story. Anyway, they take it out. Obviously, speculum's still in. I'm kind of like there. There's a little HCA holding my hand. Oh my God, love her. Actually, like, miss her. And also, the lady who put it in me was also amazing with helping with my PCOS diagnosis. So like, shouts to her. Can't remember her name, but I'm picturing her face. They put this in and it is so painful. Oh my God. It feels like there's like it feels like hot. It's not hot, obviously.
Yeah.
But I think it's a comparison to how cold the lube is.
Yeah.
You're obviously going to like contract a little bit because of the coldness. But obviously you have to relax so they can actually get there and put it right up against your cervix. So yeah, and it was really, really painful. And then
I'm glad I didn't go through that.
Yeah. And then afterwards, I was literally basically crawling out of the fucking sexual health clinic. My boyfriend's waiting for me in the car. My boyfriend at the time, obviously we're not together anymore. Don't know why I said that.
Just to let you guys know.
Don't know why I said that. Anyway, so he's waiting for me in the car and I'm like, I can't fucking breathe. My God.
Sorry to interrupt. Is this the same boyfriend who told you to go on the pill?
No, different
Oh,
one.
new boyfriend. Okay.
New boyfriend. This is the most recent one.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm literally like in agony. I'm like, I need medication. I've taken all the I've taken the fucking paracetamol. I've taken the Brufen.
But I'm sorry, paracetamol and Brufen. I'm sorry, actually do fuck all. They don't do anything.
I needed morphine at that point, and I'm like, oh my God, I need something. I can't get anything. I know I have codeine at home. Anyway, so we stop in like the shops, and he gets me like some juice and stuff. Like, bless him. Like, I didn't think he knew what to do.
Yeah,
I was like,
he's probably like trying his best.
Yeah,
some juice.
I know. I was literally crying my eyes out. Got home, go to the toilet, blood everywhere.
Really?
Yeah, literally from
was it like a period?
It was like
from how intrusive
blood.
it was.
It was like period blood. I think there was a bit of spotting afterwards because that's natural. Like, it's quite invasive procedure.
Yeah.
But then it was like I had a period straight away. It was really weird. God. So then I was on my period for like 5 days straight away, which I thought was strange, but I just went with it.
Yeah.
And then it was so painful. I don't think I've had actually, I think I probably have had periods that are that painful, but every single period after that was so painful. They were so irregular. It was already going to be irregular because my PCOS.
Yeah.
But I think it was just so, it was more regular than normal for me for PCOS, but it was so painful. Anyway, that aside, I started having pain when I was having sex. So I was like, well, this ain't right. Something ain't right here.
Something's going on. Not a fan of this.
Yeah. So then I go back into sexual health clinic, see my girl, my queen. And she's like, hey, what's up? And I'm and I'm like, I have pain during sex. They're like, okay. They swab me. They go, oh, you've got pelvic infection. I was like,
sorry?
You have pelvic infection. I was like, okay, what does this mean for like my life? And she was like, oh, you could go infertile if we don't treat this ASAP with antibiotics. Then I was on like antibiotics. I was on this like cream. I don't really know what the cream was for. I think it was probably for just like in case I had
soothing it or...
Yeah, but also antibiotics sometimes gives me thrush, so it probably was thrush cream.
Could have been a bit thrush.
Yeah, I can't actually remember what cream, but she gave me a cream. And then she told me and my boyfriend to go in for sexual testing. What was it?
I thought you were going to say counselling then.
No. Oh my god.
Like to go for a screening? Like sexual health, like STI screening. That's the word.
Yeah, so then she was like, come in for an STD test and bring your boyfriend. I was like, what? Okay, like we've only been sleeping with each other for the last 2 years. Like, come on. But I was getting a bit worried. I was like, have you been cheating on me?
Getting suspicious.
Because literally 99% or something. I don't know the statistic, but it's really, really high. You can get pelvic infection from STDs. There's only like a 1 or 2% of people get it from the copper coil. So we obviously got tested for STDs. We're both clear. We've been clear. We only sleep with each other from what I knew at that point. I don't know why I'm making it seem like he cheated on me when he didn't. I know. Anyway, so they were like, oh, it's really weird. They literally screened me about 2 or 3 times, honestly. They were so sure that I must have an STD and they were testing me wrong. But no, I got pelvic infection from the copper coil.
That's really unlucky.
Really unlucky. Bearing in mind it's like something crazy to like 1% or 2% of people. So then I was on these antibiotics, got the copper coil taken out, thank the heavens. And then I haven't been on anything since, and I am quite traumatized from my experience on the copper coil.
Yeah.
Oh god,
that was a lot. That was a lot.
I brought up a lot of like old trauma and emotions that I didn't even realise were going to get brought up. I feel like I need to like exhale now.
Yeah. Part of me also, sorry, like this is completely like I'm making it about me right now. But I wonder like with me, like if I had it inserted, like because I've experienced like endo pains, would it just feel like that? Part of me feels like I'm quite strong now.
Yeah. I've also got quite, I think I have quite a high pain tolerance.
Like, was it like a really bad period cramp?
I can imagine it feels like, it's just really, really bad period, but it was never ending.
Oh.
It was a never ending period cramp.
Oh no.
It was like a dull ache, and then every now and again it'd be like barbed wire, like pulled really tight around your middle, and I'm like, oh.
How long were you on it for?
I was on it for maybe like 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
It was literally hell.
Worst 3 or 4 months of your life,
Yeah,
probably.
I was being sent home from work. So I used to work at a bar, and I was like crouched down. What would you like? Diet Coke? No problem. Here you go. It also made me really, really emotional.
Yeah, did it?
Yeah, which is weird because it's not hormonal.
Yeah.
But then I think maybe it's the pain that was making me emotional.
Yeah, that's interesting. My sister was on actually the Mirena coil and she started getting really, really bad cramping, like really bad pains.
Because also it's a foreign body. So naturally the first like week or 2 after you get the coil inserted, your body does sometimes reject it and try to push it out.
It's like what is in you.
Yeah, so that's like foreign
my
objects
sister went to the doctor about her cramping.
Yeah.
Turns out her coil was dislodged and it had basically like lodged itself into like the side of her womb. And
no wonder she had cramping.
Yeah, I know. And she had to get it removed like really quickly.
Yeah.
But the doctors were basically saying to her like, no, everything's fine. She's going, no, something is wrong. Like I've never experienced this pain before. Something is wrong. When they found out that it was dislodged, they were like, oh yeah, like we'll get you an appointment in like 2 weeks. My mum was with her. My mum was not having any of it. They got it removed the next day. But yeah, just crazy, right?
So you do need to be careful.
Yeah, all of these problems.
Yeah, just because like if you're like me, you think, oh, the hormonal stuff hasn't worked, I'll just go on the copper coil. That might not also be your
I think it's kind
answer.
of about like maybe just like it's weird to say, but like about lowering expectations, because I think we sort of have really high expectations when it comes to contraception, like, or we think, oh, I need to be on a contraception. So for me personally, I always had high hopes that the next one I tried would work for me because I thought I really like I felt like I needed to be on it.
Yeah.
in a sense. And even in periods of my life where I wasn't necessarily sexually active, I still felt like I needed to be on it.
I think it's because it's so normalized.
Yeah, and also like, what if I meet someone? Like, what if I like meet the love of my life next week? Which for me, the love of my life, I meet every week. So I was like, I'm gonna meet the new love of my life in like a week tops. I need contraception.
Yeah.
I need to be ready. I need to be prepared. Like, so I feel like it's, you know, you get your, for me, I got my hopes up, like the next one will be good, the next one will be good, and sadly like it never was. And I'm praying that now this one will be good. And I'm also kind of on, obviously, the IUD now for like medical reasons. Well, all of this is medical, but for other reasons other than my period, basically.
Like, and sexual.
Function. So what would you say your favorite contraception was?
Nothing. I hated them all. I think
condoms.
Yes, condoms.
Femidoms, actually. She's a big Femidom user.
I've seen a Femidom once in my life, by the way. No, condoms are definitely my favourite. Skin condoms. Please sponsor the podcast. We love you.
Honestly, I think my favourite contraception might actually just be celibacy.
Yes, me too. We're proud celibate girls right now.
My favourite contraception is actually the manosphere at the moment. In light of Louis Theroux's documentary. Like the manosphere. That is contraception, because that makes me never want to go near a man ever again.
Yeah, ever again.
Ever again.
And you don't...
Ever again.
Ever again. And you don't need to be on contraception when you've just got your vibrator with you.
Exactly.
Unless you're sharing vibrators, then use a barrier method.
All you could do is stick a condom on the vibrator. Sorry. I mean, I guess you could.
No, I think people do. If they want to share. I don't know why they would share.
Yeah, perhaps.
But I don't know, maybe it's just, but
anyways,
no contraception worked well for me apart from condoms, and even then I had to go to latex free because my pH was having none of the latex condoms.
Oh gosh, no,
so
they're awful.
Skin, if you want to send me PR, that's fine, but I am not sleeping with anyone.
No,
I actually
in fact I think we're both celibate.
I'm also on 7-month celibacy, guys.
Best contraception going. I might bake you a cake.
Please, when I get
when
to a
you
year,
get to a year celibate,
I am hoping
you
to
now
go to
can't sleep with anyone, because I want to be able to make you this year celibacy cake.
What about a breaking celibacy cake?
No, I don't think that. To be fair, I could bake you a breaking celibacy cake.
To be honest with you, though, I am genuinely not interested in getting dick down.
No,
like, it is actually the last thing on my mind. Same as dating, to be honest.
Yeah, I feel like for me as well, like with like, you know, like my experience recently with endometriosis and going through surgery and all of that, like it's the last thing on my mind.
Yeah,
genuinely can't think of anything worse than having sex. Like I genuinely am terrified that it's just going to be so painful. Like it's a fear of mine. Maybe endo is the best contraception out there, because it really puts you off.
Yeah,
I mean, it really put me off, because oh my god, that sounds painful.
Or trauma.
Just men being assholes. That's great contraception. Men, you are contraception. Just to let you know.
The manosphere is contraception.
The manosphere is contraception.
That's the best line.
Oh gosh, clickbait.
Celibacy is probably the best contraception.
I think we should just stop now. Guys, you know it's serious when I whip out the laptop.
Oh yeah.
We spoke earlier a bit about the combined pill being classified as a type 1 carcinogen, and I just wanted to get into that a little bit more before we sort of wrap up this video. So this is from the National Institute of Health, by the way. So the World Health Organization classifies the combined oral contraceptives as a group 1 carcinogen, indicating sufficient evidence that they can cause cancer in humans, specifically breast cancer, cervical, and liver cancer. However, this classification also notes they significantly reduce the risk of ovarian, endometrial, and colorectal cancers. So
they do cause cancer, but they can also suppress cancer. So make it make sense.
Yeah. So they can reduce it and they can create it. But it's interesting that the cancers that they reduce the risk of are to do with your reproductive system. Yeah, but obviously that is, I'm sure there's still research being done to that. It's just sort of an interesting thing kind of wanted to touch upon.
Yeah.
Because I still just think it's crazy that we're sort of given these drugs, you know, these pills as like a first resort. Like it's such a quick decision. The doctors go, oh, go on the pill, go on the pill. Any issue, go on the pill. But really, there clearly hasn't been that much or not enough research done into these drugs before they're given to so many people.
And I also think that it's such a quick fix. Like, doctors view that, oh, go on the pill. Such a quick fix instead of like actually looking into what their symptoms
the root
could be.
cause, like you're treating the symptom, not the cause.
Like, I was prescribed a pill because I had breast cysts once. Like,
really?
Yeah, and that, like, it didn't make them better. It didn't make them worse. Like, I still have breast cysts to this day. That's just a side effect that I unfortunately suffer with PCOS. Like, so they were like, oh, go on the pill. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
Like,
it's just such like an easy fix for them. I think it is honestly, this is my personal opinion. I feel like it's almost a way to kind of shut down and silence women in a way. Like, oh, you've got an issue. Well, we've not done enough research, so we'll just send you away, go away, you know, stick you on the pill. Hopefully that hides the issue. But yeah, maybe that's a bit pessimistic, but
it is still serious. Like, we should be like promoting doctors to look into our issues. This is why we're constantly saying on this podcast, advocate for yourself, ladies. Like, you know your body.
When something's wrong.
Yeah, you know your body.
Trust your gut instinct.
Yeah, trust your gut. You know something's wrong. Like, for all you know, you could have your IUD in the side of your womb, like Amy's sister. Do you know what I mean? Like,
you know when something's up.
Yeah.
To listen to your bodies.
Also, just to close out this episode, just please remember that it's your body, your choice. So please don't ever feel pressured by partner, because I feel like that one is the most common.
Yeah.
Or your parents, or even the doctors to go on the pill. It is your or the pill, or any contraception. Like, it is your choice. Do your due diligence, guys. Like, don't just take this episode as like, oh, I know everything now. Like, no. Because like, there's so many different experiences, obviously, and the worst side effect of it being death. So you do need to take your time and look into everything, and just remember that it's your choice and what you go on.
Yeah, and of course, like, we are not medical professionals. We're literally just speaking from our own experiences and credible sources that we found online. So yeah, just do your research and find out what works best for you and your body.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in on this episode of the Clitical Thinking podcast, talking all things contraception.
We're here every Saturday on Spotify and YouTube, and we can't wait to see you there.
Who getting fucked tonight? Not us. Or my favourite thing at the moment is, shut up, Mom! Silence from you! You're cut off from talking.